Alright, can y'all hear me now? Can y'all hear me now? My bad. I'll wear that one. I'll wear that one 100%. 100% I'll wear that one. That was my bad. Sorry for all those watching with wrestling.com. Sorry for all those people. Let's start this intro again. If you guys are wondering why I'm red and everything like that, just know I'm red because I went to the beach and I forgot to reapply the sunscreen. I thought I did it like 2 times and I still got red as a motherfucker. So that's why I look like a Oompa Loompa. That's why I look like I didn't eat my hot Cheetos correctly. So I do apologize. But hey, I'm going to look a lot more browner, a lot more tan, a lot more on the stream for all like the 2 ladies that watch my channel. So I do look like Brother Love. I do look like him, man. But anyways, as I was saying, as the microphone was muted, as I was saying, this is what I had to say. This Raw review is the August 6th Raw review, but I might as well just call it the July 20th Raw review. Heck, I might as well just call it the Monday before that Raw review. I might as well just call it any Monday night Raw review, because this Raw has been the same. Week in and week out. It has been the same since the road to SummerSlam. Like, if I named you the matches, mine is Ember Moon being missing. Like, now she's on the milk carton. Like, where's Ember Moon? It's been the same. It's been the same crap for the last few weeks. All right, build up Roman and Lesnar. Roman comes out. It's my yard. You know what? I want to fight someone, Kurt. Will you fight someone, Roman? So you fight a random wrestler. Sounds good. Believe that. Roman fights someone. Seth Rollins needs help against Ziggler and McIntyre. And since Seth Rollins is such a dick, he has no other friends besides Roman, he has to go find Roman as a friend. And so, Seth Rollins goes on and chooses Roman, and then all of a sudden it's like, yeah, me and Roman, we're going to kick ass tonight. And then, of course, Steph McMahon is all like, well, if Roman fights in the tag team match later tonight, he's not in the main event for SummerSlam. But yet Roman's all about his brother and all of this other stuff. He's like, it's all about family. I love my family. My family is where I'm at. That's what I love. That's what I respect. Believe that. You think Roman would just say, make Stephanie try to take away that SummerSlam main event. Believe that. But no. No, instead of Roman defying authority as his character has shown in the past, he leaves his brother in arms, Seth Rollins, high and dry. Oh, wow. This is something we haven't seen before. Like, for real, it's been the same stuff. We're seeing the Right Squad take on the Huggin Boss, whatever the heck their name is, Nexion or whatever. Like, seriously, I think the freshest matchup tonight, minus the Ronda match, was Mojo Rawley and Bobby Roode. And that was one of the only few matches tonight where I said, it actually had a story from last week continuing on to this week. That's bad. And I'm not saying, like, look, Mojo Rawley or Bobby Roode can't wrestle on this show. No, I like I've been saying in my reviews, Mojo Rawley has been a hidden gem on Raw. I think people are not talking about him enough. You know, Bobby Roode is one of the most misused characters in wrestling today. But the thing is this. When that's like the one fresh matchup on your show, and one of the only few things that has some sort of build-up, that's not good. Because Mojo Rawley and Bobby Roode is not even an Intercontinental title feud. No, that's like a Sunday Night Heat feud. That's like filler match feud. Like no. And then like also other stuff, the KO show coming back. Jinder Mahal. What does Jinder Mahal provide to value of anyone? I know Snowdrop is going to say Jinder Mahal provides value for everyone. Well, no. Jinder Mahal is boring. And Kevin Owens couldn't even get anything out of Jinder Mahal. And then out comes Care Bear. And I even don't like the Care Bear. But they're making Care Bear's character so stupid. Here is Braun Strowman, the Care Bear. One of the few wrestlers that you built up to be one of the few guys that looks legit enough to beat Brock Lesnar. And instead of making him a dominant force as Money in the Bank, you're having him lose and making it where he forgets how to win matches or how to be dominant, which makes no sense. And everyone's going to be like, well, Chase, what they're trying to do is make Kevin Owens outsmart him so that way Kevin Owens can win in all these fake ways at SummerSlam. You know, it's actually a really good story. No, don't even defend this crap. Because This contradicts everything about Braun Strowman since he's won the Money in the Bank. Braun Strowman has been a guy that WWE has put over and has made you believe that this guy is a monster, that this guy can't be stopped, that this guy can demolish fools. Like, he's never been promoted as stupid. There's a difference between being a monster and stupid. I get it, a monster doesn't understand normal human qualities, but Braun Strowman in the past wouldn't get himself disqualified. Like, he knew the difference between being disqualified or anything like that. Like that's for real right there, man. Like, I don't understand why they just make Braun Strowman's character so dumb. Like it's just so stupid that this guy just doesn't know how to freaking win a match now. And they're just trying to make it where it's like, well, you know, he's still looking dominant at the end of the day. They have to do stupid things to get him. No, it's stupid. The guy is literally one of the few dudes that you have built up to face Brock Lesnar. It's not like this is something new. It's not like this is something where it's like, oh my God, you know, like Braun Strowman, you know, he's always been this goofy type of guy, Chase, so why are you coming? No, it's stupid. Speaking of goofy Lashley. Ugh. One of my favorite wrestlers now gets a nickname from me. That's the saddest thing. Of course, he comes out smiling, having a good time with Elias. Oh, Elias, I'm going to make you joke. You know what's also a joke? Your pants, your bracelet, your scarves. Like, oh my God. And now he's back to being the X Division Lashley too. They said, you know what, Lashley, you can be back. You can be the Lashley we all want to see for that Roman feud. But then everything else, go back to being the goofy Lashley we had planned for you, man. I won't be surprised if soon enough Lashley's with Titus Worldwide and he's doing Worldwide. Like, you know, I won't be surprised when Lashley is doing all that. He's going to be Titus Worldwide Lashley in a few months from now. I mean, this is just ridiculous, man. Like, I don't know what they, like, seriously. For 1 month, they had Lashley correct. For 1 month, people were understanding, oh yeah, this is what we want from Lashley. You gave him a new theme song that made it seem like, okay, shit's about to go down. Lashley's now a star. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you made it seem like Lashley was going to be the one to face Lesnar. You had a match in mind where it's like, oh yeah, Lashley is going to be awesome. And look, I get it from a Bobby Lashley perspective as a human being. Look, if Lashley's happy with this direction, if Lashley is all enjoying what he's doing, that's fine. That's cool. I understand, man. I get it, Lashley. You worked your ass off. Make your big payday. I'm pretty sure WWE's promising you all this bullshit later down the line. That's fine. But really, to be honest, as a fan of Lashley, this is just bad. Like, this is just not even, like, enjoyable, man. It's just sad to see because it's like, all these years I've been hyping up Lashley to my friends, to people that barely watch wrestling, to, like, you know, there's this one guy named Lashley. He's so sick. Once he gets to WWE, y'all gonna talk about him. And he gets to WWE, and my friends are like, what's so special about this guy? He sucks. And that hurts me, man. That hurts me to hear that from my friends, that Lashley sucks. Because then it makes it look like I don't know talent. And then it makes it look like that some of my favorites outside of WWE, they're nothing but trash. Now, Ishii, that's another story. Tomorrow Ishii is not trash, okay? I've been on the Ishii train for a long-ass time. Dude's a beast, all right? So, Ishii, that being said, never sign to WWE because you would not get your just desserts, man. You would just be treated like Taz was. But, you know, man, Lashley, he has just been treated like a jobber, man. Like, just a straight jobber. And it's just sad, man, because he should be treated so much better than what he is now. Like, look, an Elias feud would be fine, but not for SummerSlam. Like that's the thing. Like, I'm not like, oh yeah, Elias and Lashley makes sense for SummerSlam. Like, Elias and Lashley made sense when Lashley first came back. Elias and Lashley made sense for a filler feud in Money in the Bank. Elias and Lashley does not make sense for freaking SummerSlam. Especially because Elias is another wrestler that you also kind of messed up on. Like, what I hate sometimes when there's a good wrestler in WWE with a character, the WWE thinks it's okay for this character to always lose because, like, well, they have a character, so it doesn't matter. Like, see Velveteen Dream. Velveteen Dream is a wonderful character on NXT. Everyone likes the Velveteen Dream character. Everyone enjoys what he does and everything like that. Everyone likes it. And then the thing is, too, man, he just loses a lot on takeovers. It's not like Velveteen ever wins on any major takeover shows. He always loses on these takeover shows. And so, it's like you sit here and you wonder, why should I care about Velveteen Dream? This dude is never going to, win. And that's the same thing with Elias, man. Elias is just like, he's entertaining. He does his shtick well. He's a good character. But WWE sees that and says, okay, he does that good. And instead of making him win or making him like a legit threat, they just have him lose. They have him feud with guys that they don't know what to do within the main event because they know it's like, hey, people will pay attention because he's facing Elias. And people somewhat like seem entertained and watch Elias segments. So we can put that guy in there. But at the same time, you're not making it where Elias is like a former champion or a current champion. So there's a reason why the wrestler's feuding with them. No, it's just more of like the wrestler just comes out. Elias insults them. The wrestler is like, oh, I didn't like how you insulted me, so I'm going to beat you up. And then Elias is like, I don't care because I'm still going to see my music. So it's like you have a feud where it's just that Elias insulted Lashley insulted Elias because he came out. Elias said Lashley's an idiot. Lashley came out and said, oh, I don't like that you called me an idiot. Like how is that going to entice me as a wrestling fan? How am I going to sit here and say, you know what, man, I'm so excited for Lashley and Elias. You know, it all started because Elias called Lashley an idiot. Like, you know how dumb that is? How a feud starts like that? Like, that's how we start feuds today. And today's wrestling is like, oh, Lashley was called an idiot by Elias. It's just dumb. And so WWE relies on this whole, oh, well, Elias is a good character, so we don't have to worry about it. And it doesn't work out. And then they wonder why people are not interested in Lashley. And then they wonder why Elias doesn't have any interest either. It's because you don't do anything interesting with these characters. All you do with these characters is the same crap that you always do. So yeah, when it comes down to it, man, the Elias and Lashley stuff, Goopy Lashley and Elias, whatever. What else happened on this Raw that I can talk? Titus Worldwide, Razor won a match. Just good to know, I guess. Who else won? There's some other stuff that happened on Raw besides Ronda, right? Because you know, obviously we're gonna talk about Ronda, unless I'm missing something. I already talked about Roman and his stuff. Oh, Paul Heyman, he was crying and saying that Brock Lesnar's a beast. Cool. Let's see, what else? Yeah, I think I covered most of the important parts of Raw. Like, there's nothing really else to say. And if you guys feel like I missed something, just go watch my previous reviews. I'm pretty sure I talked about those segments in full detail. Oh, Ruby Riot's returned. Oh, I was like, I was floored. I was like, oh, great, she's back. I don't even know why she was injured. They still didn't explain that. They still did not explain why Ruby Riot was injured. Like, they just said, oh, she's back from injury. Since when? I already talked about that at JC. I said that Roman couldn't fight because, you know, main event's more important than his brother, bro. Oh, and I loved how before the tag match was announced, Michael Cole's like, who is Rollins going to find as his tag team partner? We know it's not going to be Dean Ambrose because he's still recovering from trying. Because, like, he knows that, like, WWE was, like, saying, tell the fans it's not going to be Dean Ambrose. But the one thing I also want to talk about before we get into the Ronda match, which obviously was the only highlight of this freaking episode, it's not even close, is the leaked script. Now, apparently this has been going around. Shout out to TwitWow, I think that's his name. He does like a wrestling show and podcast. I was chilling in Delexman's live stream for a little bit, and TwitWow told me that these leaks, these script leaks, have been going on for weeks. Like that the WWE has has had these scripts going on for weeks and they don't even change it. But this time, this is like the first time that I've seen the script public on Twitter. And like, to me, I was like, man, WWE better throw up some audibles. But they didn't. They kept with the same show. Like, the script, if you read the script, that was a show. And really, to be honest, what I felt helped deflate this show was just like, oh, the script was leaked again. The script was shown again. Like, you know, the script was shown. And then people just saw the script and they're like, oh my god, this looks terrible. Like, there wasn't anything on the script besides that Rousey was main eventing that made you say, oh yeah, I'm going to watch that, like for real. I mean, my friend who watches Raw on Hulu Raw, he told me, he asked me, he goes, hey, what's the B team doing? And I said, what do you mean? The B team are tag champs. He's like, yeah, but what are they doing? And I was like, what do you mean, what are they doing? They're like fighting with the leader of worlds all the time. And he's like, no, Hulu doesn't show me that. Hulu doesn't even show the Raw Tag Team Champions. They don't show the B Team. They don't show the Leader of Worlds. They don't show anything with the Revival. Like my friend was like, oh yeah, I haven't seen the B Team, the Leader of Worlds, or what's it called, or the Revival in a while. He literally was so lost. He was telling me like, I haven't seen the B Team. He's no longer watching Hulu Raw. He gave up on wrestling. He said once he saw the Boss and Hug connection, that was it. He said he couldn't. He said he was done with it. He said, Chase, I'm done. I'll watch pay-per-views with you every once in a while, But when it comes to these weekly shows, he tapped out. And he's a casual watching Raw on Hulu. Hulu Raw. Like, that's bad when even Hulu Raw, which is way more condensed than the crap that we see. They cut out the crap that they don't want us to see. And he still gave up. And how the hell are you going to do Hulu Raw? And you take out the B team, but keep Boss and Hug Connection. That's ridiculous. But yeah, you know, you saw that script leak. And it's just like so sad. It's like the B team, it's like there's nothing interesting. Like, you're just like, man, dude, there's nothing interesting about this Raw. And they don't do anything to change it. They don't try to audible. They don't try to throw us a curveball or trick us with something. No, they just keep the show the same. Like, well, the script's out there, so damn it, let's just keep it the same. We're gonna outsmart them by not doing shit. It feels like WWE let this script go out there. They let it go out there so that way they could trick people. So that way they can fool the people, Michael. So that way people can believe in the bullshit. And then they'll be like, oh, we got them. And when fans think that this is not real and it's a debate, it's a topic to talk about. Like, don't say I'm crazy for saying this. I wouldn't be surprised if WWE leaked this out themselves. Because they want people talking about Raw. They want people to say, hey, this is what's going on Raw tonight, guys. Talk about it. Doesn't matter if the show is bad or not. We just want people talking about it. And that was one of the main talking points. Because sometimes WWE, you know, one of the things that they always look at with their stock exchange people is the social media market. Where they say, hey, you know, look at the social media. It's not like their marketing team is going to be looking at like what people are actually saying about Raw or SummerSlam. As long as you use that hashtag and you're helping that trend go up, that all that matters. You interact with WWE, you get WWE's name out there, you get WWE more on the search bars. So ultimately, what they're doing, like seriously, what they're doing is just pretty much just like getting people to talk about Raw during the show, but making it where it's just like, what's it called? How can I say it? Ultimately, they're letting out their own information. So that way people can talk about the show, know about the show ahead of time, and be able to still reap rewards from it. Because people are still going to watch just to see if anything's different. People are going to watch and talk about it to say like, oh, is this changed or is this true? Oh, let me see. So yeah, man. Raw was bad. The only good thing of Raw tonight was Ronda Rousey. Cringe Ronda, our girl, your girl, my girl, everyone's girl. Screw Balor Club for everyone, Ronda's for everyone. Ugh. Can we just clone Ronda Rousey? Can we just get like 6 Ronda Rousey segments a week or something? Because they're making this main event feel like a big deal, man. It's not just the match itself. Like, the match was whatever. But that's fine. I always talk about before, I don't need always a good wrestling match. I see enough of those scenes nowadays. It's refreshing to have a main event that was built up like this, where it's like you got video packages. I mean, Alicia Fox was more built up than a lot of Ronda Rousey's UFC opponents. She was more built up than Sarah McMahon, Betty Correia, freaking Kat Zingano. Like, she was more built up than a lot of those girls were. Like, they're like trying to make Alicia Fox seem like, oh man, we're gonna make what's it called? Oh, like we're gonna make Alicia Fox look like she's been the baddest woman on the planet for years. Like they're like giving her that video package, like Alicia Fox, former WWE Divas champion, has beaten all the top names here on WWE. That was good stuff, man. Hey, good on WWE, man. But Ronda Rousey goes and has the match with Alicia Fox. It was great. It was great. I loved it. Ronda wins. Alexa Bliss, I guess, tapped out. Alexa Bliss tried to beat up Ronda from behind. Ronda goes and throws her off. Ronda says, give me that fucking mic to Charlie Caruso. And by the way, with Charlie Caruso, some wrestlers have to try to be fucking her, right? There's no way Charlie Caruso has not fucked some wrestlers in that company, man. Like, here's the thing. If you're some lonely boy in the back, man, if you're some lonely boy in the back, if you ain't trying out Charlie Caruso, then what are you doing? Because, man, you know, I always say about Charlie Caruso, everything's good but her face, because sometimes Charlie Caruso's face is kind of there. But, man, Charlie Caruso's body, oh, fuck yeah. Like, how does WWE allow her to dress like that, man? She looked great. But, yeah, so Ronda Rousey grabs the mic, says SummerSlam, I'm taking that title. I love you guys. Our girl still just doesn't know how to work the microphone, but it's okay. She's awesome. But that's how Raw ends. Like, literally, that's how you end Raw. I love you guys. Like, she just kicks someone's ass, and then Ronda Rousey says, I love you guys. I will give props on one thing for Raw. Jacksonville crowd was really good. I'll say that, man. Like, this crowd was actually pretty, like, for the bad show that they got, and this is where I hate when wrestling fans say, well, WWE gives us a bad show, and so I lose interest as a crowd member. Jacksonville was there throughout the whole show. So I got to give the if you're in Raw Jacksonville or you stumble on this review or something like that, I got to give them credit, man, because I hear all these excuses by wrestling fans that, well, I'm at a live show and the fans got bored so easily, blah, blah, blah. But this Jacksonville crowd, for a bad Raw that they got, they seem to love it. They were into this show for the most part. So good on Jacksonville, man. Like, y'all didn't need to really care about this show, but y'all did. So good on you, man. So yeah, Raw was bad. Don't pipe the noise. No, Jacksonville was actually pretty solid, man. They were actually, the crowd was actually pretty good. Like, if you actually watch the front row people and stuff, they were actually pretty hyped throughout the whole show. Well, it's not that they weren't a smarky crowd. They were just hyped throughout the whole show. That's the thing, JC. Like, I was surprised that they were just hyped throughout the whole show. I was just like, to me, I was like, man, dude, they're actually hyped. Like, they're not, like, bored. And I hear excuses from wrestling fans all the time that, oh man, the shows are so boring, even live, blah, 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 blah. Damn, Bones, stop hating on Ronda Rousey. Jesus Christ, man, you hate on everything that's good. I'm just saying, man, straight shooter. I was happy that Jacksonville gave some love. But yeah, no, Raw was bad. Jacksonville crowd, you guys did great. Ronda did great. Believe that. Well, it's true. And now let's get to the Q&A, guys. I need to answer some questions, you know. I don't want to talk about Raw, but I'm going to tweet out, man. Shout out to the Jacksonville crowd. All right, man. Ronda got jobbed out to Nunez. Yeah, Nunez in her ways of getting through USADA. Did your friend know about the A show NXT, and do you think Ronda has the potential to be the greatest wrestler than the UFC fighter? My friend hates NXT. My friend hates NXT. He watches like some takeover matches that I'll put on, and I'll tell him like, hey, this is a good match on takeover, and he'll watch them and he'll say, yeah, man, that match is good, but I'm still not watching NXT. He won't watch it. He thinks NXT sucks, man. That's why I try to tell people NXT is not for casual wrestling fans. It's not for casual wrestling fans. Like, he doesn't mind watching it, but it's just like only in doses, me. Ronda does have the potential to be a better wrestler than UFC fighter at this point, but Ronda did so much more for the UFC marketing-wise, that's kind of hard to compare the two. Is there me, or does the All-In card look kind of mad? No, CPZ, I'm with you, man. I literally think that the All-In card is really like, you know, like, if Omega versus Penta gets announced, that's really the only height to matchup. Like, I did not ask for Okada versus Marty Scurll. Like, who sat there and was like, you know what, Okada, Marty Scurll, that's what I want. I mean, Rey Mysterio in that six-man tag with the Young Bucks and Ibushi, sure, that's going to be a good little six-man spot fest. But I'd rather see Rey Mysterio fight like a dream opponent, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're going to book Rey Mysterio on an all-in show or a show like this, why isn't Rey Mysterio fighting Ospreay? You know what I'm saying? Like, why couldn't you get Ospreay on this show and have him fight there? I get it, maybe that's like a match New Japan's saving for. But still, it's like, you couldn't find Rey Mysterio a dream match opponent? Even if it's not really like the top tier dream matches we want to see with Rey Mysterio, you couldn't find a top tier dream match for Mysterio on this show? That's what I was thinking with All In. It's like, and then Stephen Amell versus Christopher Daniels. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I'm happy Joey Janela got on the show. Good for him, you know. But other than that, yeah, I don't know, man. All In is kind of look like a mad card. America Alucard's an idiot, man. Like, I don't know. He's kind of understanding now the reasons why I can't make videos sometimes. So he's a little bit understanding now. I know. Honda Housey jobbed her, man. Who wins the G1 on Sunday? Oh, man, dude. That is so hard right now. Honestly, go Ace? I wouldn't be surprised. I'm going to go with Tanahashi. I think Tanahashi is going to win. Tanahashi won Omega 2. But it's so rare when, like, the IWGP champion has won. Like, I can't remember the last time the IWGP champion has won itself. Because if Omega wins, I don't know who you would choose. But I think Ace is going to win. I won't be surprised if Tanahashi wins. Go Ace. Go Ace. I'm going with Tanahashi. Didn't watch Raw, but I'm sure my girl Alicia had 234. Is Dwayne Wade re-signed with the Heat or is he retiring? I don't know, man. He might sign with that Chinese team, Kadeem. That Chinese team, what's it called? That Chinese team offered him like 5 year, like some like $20 million contract. I would sign with that. Just steal their money. Nothing much, animals. Just doing a Q&A after a bad Raw, man. They'd rather job out Asuka, a wrestler that has clear skills in wrestling, and then let Ronda beat women more talented than her. You feeling Madden 19? Honestly, Dan Bones, no. I think this might be the first year I skip Madden in quite some time, man. I think I'm skipping Madden for sure this year. Like, first of all, this rookie class wasn't really like an exciting rookie class for me. Second of all, Madden's overall ratings have just been trash for the last few years. Like, there's way too many players in the 90s and 80s now, man. Like, it's just so bad. Defense is still the same. Offense is still the same. The only thing that's different is now the players feel more realistic in the movement. But even then, man, like I've only played 3 hours out of the like 10-hour trial you get from EA Access, and I got bored. Like, I wasn't even having fun trying to rebuild the Arizona Cardinals. I was just sitting there bored out of my mind, man. Like it's so annoying that they still haven't changed anything. Even when you do custom sliders and because like here's the thing. I'm a franchise guy. When it comes to Madden, that's all I play is franchise. I play online every once in a while. I don't do MUT. I play franchise. That's my thing, man. I play franchise, man. That's my thing, dude. So when I play franchise mode, man, I want to have fun with it. And like, really, the only thing that they added was like, oh, you can have custom draft classes. All right, cool. So what? I can download the real college football players and everything like that. They still have the same problem that the fake football players had, man. Like for real, like the fake college football players, they always, like the CPU automated college football players, they always had the same thing where there would be a linebacker that's way too fast. All the defensive tackles are really strong and stuff like that. It was easy to cheese the draft. It's the same thing because you could put the real players in, and then all the linebackers are really fast. Every quarterback's really good. You know, it's not fun, man. Like, honestly, it's just like franchise has gotten a little bit better, but to me, it's like, it's not there. Like to me, it just feels like they put more polish into it. Like, instead of looking at blank screens when I'm playing franchise, I look more at like little cut scenes and stuff like that. But also too, I feel like they still haven't gotten the idea of actually how players sign contracts in real life in football. Like the thing about 2K, I'll give 2K credit. 2K gameplay wise has gone down, but when it comes to actually signing players to contracts and stuff like that, 2K is at least realistic in that aspect. Where like if a player has been in free agency for a while and they haven't signed with the team, that player will sign a cheap deal just to play for the season and stuff like that. Like 2K has at least done a good job with stuff like that. Madden, it's like I still see like stupid contracts being thrown out to players, and I'm just like, why does Madden do this? Or like Madden have it where it's just because they have a player that's like 33. Like in real life, an NFL team is not going to keep a player that's 33 years old and sign him for a 5-year deal just because he has an 89 overall. It doesn't matter what the overall is. That player would get cut. That player would just be like, hey, he's a cap casualty. That's another thing too. They still haven't figured out the cap casualty and stuff like that. It's like, But yeah, no, NBA 2K, at least like they have like the contracts down. Madden though, no, I'm skipping it this year. Like at first I was like, you know what? Maybe I'm not gonna buy Madden this year. I'm skipping it. There's other games that I'm more excited for. So yeah, I'm gonna skip Madden this year. At least All In will sound nostalgic, I guess. Bucks versus LAX. I wasn't looking for. Well, that's on Jericho's cruise. That's not a. I said dream match for Rey Mysterio, not for the Bucks. 3 years, $25 million offers what the Chinese team is offering D Wade. Oh, good for D Wade. Have you heard some reports that Triple H wants to sign Pentagon Jr. and Phoenix from Lucha Underground? Well, yeah, that makes sense. Why not have two of the more talented wrestlers in the world on the roster? And plus, because WWE's still looking for Hispanic stars. That's what they're trying to do, man. They're trying to look. They're trying to look for more Hispanic stars. Have you listened to Astroworld? Nope. All right, let's see. What questions did I miss, man? Yeah, running the ball is hard, but it's not that bad, to be honest. Do you think Josh Allen will start for the Buffalo Bills before the end of the season? Oh, 100%. I do not see why he wouldn't. Time for the Batman to say some good things about Ronda. WWE 2K19 screenshots are coming out tomorrow. Ooh. Can't wait to see them all look pretty bad again. Chase, at least they're not 2K with their microtransactions doing the bullshit story mode. I'm talking about franchise mode. There's a difference between my career and franchise. I barely even played my career now, man. Can you explain the random ass EC3 and Velveteen Dream feud to me? I haven't watched NXT since Ciampa won the title. I think like they both are just arrogant assholes. I really don't know, CPs. I gotta watch NXT. Like I binge watched the NXT before Takeover, so like next week is Takeover, so probably Friday I'd be able to watch I'll be able to watch all the probably Friday and Saturday I'll watch all the NXTs before Takeover, and stuff like that. So yeah. The straight shooter 2K puts EA keeps it only in Ultimate Team. Yeah, Ultimate Team is bad. Not gonna lie, but the Batman wish they put her in a match with John Cena and have him buried. Oh, don't be mean to Ronda. Yeah, I know. Has 2K even made a good WWE game? I think 2K14 is their best one, and that's because 2K14 is the best one because they still use the engine that 2K13 was using. That's what people don't, not 2K13, that WWE 13 was using. That's the only reason why 2K14 is still good. Like people don't realize that. Like everyone's all like, oh yeah, man, 2K13, oh, 2K14 is really good. Yeah, it's really good because they're still using WWE 13's engine. Like that's the thing. That's the only reason why 2K14 was still good. They still had what Ukes and the THQ team did. Ever since 2K has taken over, it's so sad when a wrestling game, you can't even do submissions properly. Like that submissions are just one of the worst things ever. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't even do submissions in 2K anymore, man. Like every 2K game, dude, every year. So like what happens is this. I don't buy the 2K games every year. What happens is they'll go on sale, and then my aunt, who knows I'm a big wrestling fan, my aunt, she doesn't realize I don't like these games, but I'm not going to say no to a free game from my aunt. And also I don't want my aunt to feel bad by buying me these games. So every year, my aunt goes and she gives me the 2K game when it gets on sale. Like I know when the sale 2K games are coming. I know when WWE 2K19 or 2K18 or 2K17, they go on sale for like that, like that $29.99 or $25.99 price range. I already know. Next time I see my aunt, she's like, oh, Chase, I got you something. And she'll give me the 2K games. And I just say thank you to her and stuff like that. And then I put it in. I wait for the game to download. I'll say, okay, what's different? I'll play the game. I'll enjoy myself for about an hour. Like, in about an hour, I'll sit there and I'll be like, you know what? I don't know why people were shitting on this game. It's actually pretty good. And then afterwards, that hour of enjoyment just goes away. Like, it just disappears. Like, I just, get bored. I keep doing the same moves. I'm like, man, dude. Like, and I used to do this with Here Comes the Pain and all these other games doing the same moves. But those games felt nice. Like, it felt nice playing those games. It felt good playing those games, man. That's what I liked about those games. Like, it felt good. I felt like every match was competitive. Here, man, I feel like once I hit my finisher, I feel like it's just ridiculous. Like that's another thing. Those matches too. Like back in the good old days, when someone hit that first finisher, it felt like the matches were over and you were like stressing, pushing those buttons. In this game, oh man, I can get hit by 5 finishers that I can kick out. Like, as long as you know how to kick out, that's it. And it's just annoying, man. Kayvon Brown, you can whip my ass in Injustice all you want, man. I suck. I have no problem if you want to whip my ass in Injustice. I suck at that game. I'm just saying, man, the WWE 2K games, man, they're hard. I haven't even played UFC 3, man. Well, it's a kilt she's wearing. If Conor were to lose against Khabib, what do you think would be next, and would it hurt him? Conor losing to Khabib, first of all, this is always a win-win situation for McGregor, because he's facing Khabib, and if Khabib does the whole fight where he's just laying and praying on Conor, everyone, all the Conor McGregor fanboys would be like, well, Khabib didn't stand up, man. Oh, man. Oh, Khabib didn't want to stand with Conor. Even though I know Khabib is going to stand with Conor, because Khabib is an egomaniac, and he thinks he can stand with everyone. He got tagged by Michael Johnson. He got tagged by Akinta. So I wouldn't be surprised. But if Conor loses, it wouldn't hurt him. Because, A, if he loses, then later on that's going to lead to Conor finding his next fight. Conor can always go back down to 145 and just be like, I thought these guys are much bigger and everything like that. But if I go back to 145, he has a win over Max Holloway. I feel like he can face Ortega just fine. He's okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's going to be fine. He could go back down to 145. He could talk about maybe how the weight cut affected him and go to 170. There's a lot of money matchups there. To me personally, Khabib beating Conor would just be like, okay, Conor lost to an undefeated machine in Khabib. Doesn't hurt Conor all that much because Conor's already a 2-division weight champ and he can just go back to 145. He can do the Nate trilogy and everything like that. It wouldn't hurt his stock because fans are excited to see him fight back. And then also, too, that's another thing. People are going to use that as an excuse. Well, Conor's been gone from the game for 2 years. How do you expect him to be 100%? Conor's in a win-win situation. It sucks that that's the situation. It should be like, oh, if Conor loses, this hurts the stock, but it doesn't. Because everyone's going to be like, oh, he stepped up with Khabib and everything like that. He had the court trials and everything. He couldn't be ready. Chase, how can people say Jones isn't the GOAT at this point? GSP, Anderson, Aldo, McGregor, DJ, and DC have all lost in UFC, not Jones, though. I don't get it either, man. Like, GSP lost when he was young, yes, but he still lost. Anderson got cocky when he lost, broke his leg when he lost, should have beat Michael Bisping. I mean, Anderson's losses, like, the thing about Anderson's losses, they're all so fucking weird. Like, like, Anderson hasn't really legitimate, like, not to say, like, okay, yes, he did get knocked out by Weidman, but he was digging around. Anderson's losses are more, like, self-inflicting and just weird. Aldo, like, has had terrible losses. Like, Jose Aldo, like, he's a great fighter and definitely one of the top 10 all-time dudes. But when it comes down to it, when you look at his losses, dude, he's been knocked out, and just bad. McGregor, McGregor's one of the greatest draws in UFC history, but not one of the greatest of all time. DJ, I mean, yeah, DJ lost to Dominick Cruz, was afraid to go up to 130. Like, that's why I hated when they're like, DJ's pound for pound one of the best fighters. Demetrius Johnson did not even want to fight TJ. He didn't even want to face Cruz when they were talking about, oh, Cruz versus DJ. When Cruz came back and he won the belt, they were saying, oh, Demetrius should go fight Cruz again. This would be a different matchup. DJ even said no to that one, man. So really, to be honest, like, DC, he just has 2 belts. That's why I put him up there. But, like, John Jones is ultimately one of the real GOATs because he's beat DC twice. And everyone's going to be like, oh, TRT, steroids and everything like that. Please do not tell me that you don't think DC's juicing or does not have... He's been doing USADA for years. You don't think DC knows how to work the fucking system? And if you don't think that he knows how to work the system, you are stupid. Why do you think he's so good with USADA? Like, just saying. Just saying. Chase, WWE 2K19 Tower Mode is an arcade style mode where you fight 10 superstars, no regenerating health, and there's the $1 billion challenge. That's cool, but it doesn't interest me. And plus, that $1 million gets taxed anyway. So, SummerSlam is 2 weeks from now, Blue Knight. Do you think Conor is going to get into Khabib's head just like he did with Jose Aldo and Eddie Alvarez? Oh, yeah. I think he is. Because Khabib is going to be, like... The thing about Conor, like... The reason why Conor didn't do good with Floyd is because Floyd is, like... Here's the thing. Floyd knew what Conor was trying to do. Floyd's been in this game for a long time. Before Conor McGregor was trying to get into Floyd's head, he had Ricky Hatton try to get into Floyd's head. He had Oscar De La Hoya try to get in his head. Floyd Mayweather was, like, primed and tested to, like, be, like, ready for, like, McGregor's nonsense. And that's why McGregor didn't do as well as he should have against Floyd, because Floyd was just like, man, I'm just fucking around with you, man. I know what I'm doing. Like, Floyd was the master in that. So now Conor, what helps with him is when he fights dudes and he fucks with their mind. Like, Nate Diaz. Notice why Nate does well against Conor? Because Nate doesn't buy into Conor's shit. Nate's just like, hey, man, I'm here to fight, you know. I just want money, man. I want to kick your ass, man. Like, you know, he don't give a fuck. Nate just wants to fight. You know, Conor's trying to get into your head, fuck with you, and make you all riled up and everything like that. Habib is kind of an even keel guy. You know, Tony didn't get in Khabib's head, but, you know, Tony's not a good trash talker. El Kukui is no Conor McGregor when it comes to trash talking. So, we will see. Because Khabib is a very even keel dude from what I've seen. But then again, Khabib has never fought, like, a top 5 dude ever. Let's give Conor some credit here. Conor is actually, Conor has actually fought top 5 dudes. Sure, most of them have been in the featherweight division, but he has fought a top champion in Eddie Alvarez. So let's give him some credit there. Khabib, who the hell in the top 5 has he fought? No one. I got Conor winning Kayvon Brown. I got Conor winning that fight. Well, I think they want screenshots to get out there so people know what the graphics look like. No, Kayvon, I haven't heard Cody's excuses after losing to TJ. Is it the same one where he's like, I just got out the couch, man? Like, honestly, dude, I think Garbrandt's just trying to go for knockouts. He doesn't even care about trying to, like, actually win right now. Like, I really think he was trying to just knock out TJ in the first round. Like, I feel like if Cody fought how he did against Dominick Cruz against TJ, he could have actually been competitive against TJ. But instead, he decided to fight all freaking emotional and act like an idiot. Like, I don't know, man. I think Cody just got too cocky, man. I think if he fought TJ how he fought Dominick Cruz, it would have been a much closer fight for sure. I don't know if Cody would have won because TJ moves a little bit more different than Dominick Cruz. But yeah. Let's see. How bad does DJ look now, seeing that Cejudo wanted to move up? I don't think DJ looks bad. It's just kind of like Cejudo has had trouble making 125. So it's not like Cejudo's been some Mr. Perfect type of guy. He's had some trouble making 125 in the past. So I think he's just using this as the way where he's like, hey, now I have a reason to move up to 135. What do you think the whole welterweight championship saga? Do you think Tyron versus Till will be awesome? I think Tyron versus Till will be a good fight. Tyron's a heavy hitter. Till's a good hitter. Colby Covington should have been ready. It's Colby's fault. He should have not planned sinus surgery. Who you just got a hello from the angry Batman himself. What's up, Batman? Thoughts on Raptors signing Greg Monroe and Rodney Hood staying being on free agent? I don't know what Greg Monroe provides for the Raptors besides maybe just helping Pascal Siakam, but okay. Rodney Hood being a free agent is wonderful to me. Like, I don't understand that. Like, he must have really pissed off, like, a lot of NBA GMs and stuff like that for the stuff that he did in the playoffs. Like, he must be blacklisted or something. Like, Hood's a very solid player. Like, people forget Hood was actually pretty good before Donovan Mitchell came in. Like people forget about that. So I think the Cavs are going to get a good deal off of him because they gave him the restricted qualifying offer. So he's going to sign that, especially if no team wants him, because he's not going to want to not be in the league for a year. So Hood's going to sign that, and I think he's going to do well on the Cavs, being like the second best player next to Kevin Love, because he is technically the second best player, man. Thoughts on NBA Live 18 compared to 2K18? Live 18 sucks, man. Like, it just sucks, man. Yeah, all the AKA guys are the same. They wrestle. They know how to punch a little bit. Like, Rockhold's the only one that does... He's not the good wrestler, Rockhold. He's like the worst wrestler out of all the AKA guys. No, I think McGregor beats him in the 3rd round. Because, like, the thing about Khabib, like I said, he gets cocky, man. He likes to stand up there and, like, try to punch you. And I don't know why he does that, man. Chase, there's a reason Rockhold and Kane have lost recently. Look at who they fought compared to Khabib and DC, not counting Bones. They fought other grapplers and got outstruck. Yeah. Duh. That's what happens, man. When was the last time Rockhold fought, man? Like David Branch? I can't even remember, man. Do you think TJ could be the best bantamweight of all time? No. There's Dominick Cruz. There's Bibiano, who doesn't even fight in the UFC. He's an underrated bantamweight. It's just because he doesn't fight in the UFC, but he's been undefeated for a long ass time, and he's really good. Kenan Barao, people forget about that. That dude exists. Hell, even Miguel Ángel Toros. I mean, there's guys like TJ just gets the UFC bump and the UFC love and the UFC forcing the name of greatest of all time. But no, I think there's other fighters that could be considered, man. When was the last time DC fought? Khabib says DC fought another grappler, not counting Bones. Henderson was DC's last guy, right? Henderson, yeah. That was the last time DC fought another grappler. Off the top of my head was Henderson. Khabib, I don't think he's fought anyone that's a grappler, to be honest with you. That's why I said Pettis was like the ultimate like good matchup for Khabib at that UFC pay-per-view. Like, but Pettis wanted more money. Because I said Pettis off his back is deadly. And so I said Khabib takes Pettis down. Pettis could just wrap a triangle choke on him and win. Like, and that's not out of the realm of possibility, because Anthony Pettis, if there's one thing where you don't want Anthony Pettis, that's on his back. Like he's one of the guys, like, you can try to maul him, but Pettis is like deadly off his back. Like, he's probably one of the best fighters off his back that you would ever see. And, you know, and that's the thing, like, Pettis is a very solid striker, so he would be able to annoy Khabib with that. And Pettis is one of those guys, he wants you to take him down. Because, like I said, like 5 times already, he's great off his back. So when it comes down to it, man, Pettis was like the one guy where I was like, you know, if Khabib faces Pettis, I wouldn't be surprised if Pettis locks in that triangle and beats him. Like, I was literally saying, like, Khabib probably doesn't want to fight Pettis at this, especially since Pettis was preparing for Michael Chiesa, and all Chiesa does is grapple and wrestle you, and is known for his great jiu-jitsu. Oh yeah, you know, Pettis is way more prepared to fight you than any other fighter on that card. Like Ali Quinta, I can't even remember who the fuck he was trying to fight. Raging now. But yeah, man, Pettis was like, I thought, the scariest threat for Khabib on that card. Just because Pettis, like, I think he's just one of the best fighters, not just in the lightweight division, but ever off his back, man. Like, he's just crazy good. It's just ridiculous. Sound like Joe Rogan there when I was like trying to like hype up something. Do you think Cain Velasquez will debut in WWE this year? If so, when? No, probably next year, 2019. That makes sense, right? Favorite albums and movies this year? So albums, Pusha T's album's really good. Nas's album was really good. Those are my 2 favorite albums right now, for sure. Black Panther album was one of my favorite albums, for sure. Favorite movies this year? Black Panther is one of my favorite movies this year, for sure. Mission Impossible, Fallout, A Quiet Place, the one where they couldn't talk because those creepy aliens. That was a good movie. That's really all the movies that like I consider good. Like, those are like my favorites that like I liked watching and enjoying. I didn't see The Incredibles yet. Like, I know I'm gonna get shown, but I just didn't, like, after all the stuff I've been hearing about it, I was just like, man, I don't want to see this shit. Like, I was just like, no, I don't want to see this shit right now. Like, I don't want to waste my time. I liked Infinity War, but it wasn't like one of my favorite movies this year. Like, I love Black Panther way more than Infinity War this year. That's for sure, man. Wakanda forever and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, no, Infinity War was but like Black Panther, I think is way better than Infinity War, in my personal opinion. Yeah, NBA Live 19 is doing it good with the women's basketball movement. Yeah, no, well, Dan Henderson's a true grappler, but he was fighting older Dan when he calls every fighter in the promos the UFC's greatest of all time. Like 20. Like, it's so annoying. DC versus Stipe, that makes sense. I just have a question for you guys. How many of you were like shocked of how much I knew about MMA and everything like that? Like, how much I actually know and talk about MMA and stuff like that? Like, how many guys were shocked of you guys thinking I was like at least like a legit MMA fan? Because sometimes some people like get shocked that I'm like so big into it, like, and stuff like that. Oh man, if you guys remember the old days, I used to know all the loser UFC fighters. Now I can't keep up, man. They have way too many fighters on the damn roster. But how many guys were shocked at my MMA knowledge? I guess you could say, like, how many of you guys were shocked that like I was like I would say I'm a little bit more knowledgeable. Versus DC doesn't happen. Who deserves the next shot? That's kind of a good start. But yeah. I always knew you knew your MMA content. Oh, thanks, Isaac Brock. That's good to know. Because like sometimes some people go like, "Oh, what? You're an MMA fan? Oh, I didn't know you watched it and stuff like that. I didn't know you're that into it." I want to start doing more MMA stuff on the channel. It's just more of a time theme, man. And plus, MMA, like that sport, like dude, the news goes by fast. There's always something new in the world of MMA, man. No, Derek Lewis even said he doesn't even want a title fight. He even said that he did bad. I think Stipe deserves it, though. Joe Lewis versus Curtis Blades. Have Curtis Blades try to fight a striker. Who is going to headline UFC 230? That card has Jacare versus Branch. Sick. Brunson versus Adesanya. Sick. Romero versus Costa. Sick. Rockhold versus Weidman. Sick. Poirier and Diaz. We don't even know if... Do you know what's funny? That's all middleweights. If Whitaker versus Gastelum could happen, that would have been sick. But yeah, I don't know. I think GSP has to be like. I think GSP is headlining UFC 230. I think it's GSP Anderson. Maybe. I think it could be that. I feel like it has to be some gimmick money fight, right? It can't be a normal fight. Like I'll feel so disappointed if I hear the main. Okay. Crazy theory. I think it's GSP Anderson. The reason why I think it's GSP Anderson is because you look at all the middleweights that are on the card. Anderson Silva, he's cleared to fight in November when this card takes place. GSP, he's interested in the winner of Conor Khabib. You know, Dana White is doing his usual GSP bashing. So you notice when GSP is being bashed by Dana White, GSP is all of a sudden, he's ready to return. Or something like that. So Dana White keeps mentioning GSP's name out there. GSP came out in the news lately. So I think GSP and Anderson is a possibility for one of the fights for sure. Or it's Nunez versus Cyborg. Like they figured out which date is available. Because Cyborg says she wanted to fight in November. Nunez said December. So maybe they figured out November for this fight. So it's Cyborg versus Nunez. Like, they have to have a big money fight as the main event. Because, like, really, to be honest, Poirier and Nate itself, that's already a main event, really, to be honest. Like, that could be a main event for a lot of cards, man. If John Jones came back to UFC 230, like, if you just had it where it's like a picture of Anderson Silva versus John Jones, take my fucking money. Like, I'll go broke in UFC content for 2 weeks. For the month of that, because so Nunez, so Cyborg is giving up Christmas now. I don't believe this. Cyborg, I don't want to give up Christmas. So that's happening in December then. Yeah, because like, man, dude, I don't know. Because I have to think, man, it has to be like Anderson versus GSP. Like, I feel like, because Dana White was very secretive about this. Like, this has to be something where he's like, and I won't be surprised, like, my theory is correct, that, like, if the 230 main event gets announced and it's some lame title fight, like, they'll be like, Dana, was this the plan? Actually, no, we were actually planning for Anderson versus GSP. Really? Yeah. Well, what happened there? I don't know. Well, you know, George just didn't want the fight. So you're saying GSP didn't want to fight? Yeah. He has something else to worry about, man. You know, don't get me wrong. I love George St-Pierre. One of the greatest fighters of all time. Has done so much for the UFC. But, yeah, man, he just has some issues. Like, that's what Dana White would say, man. That's what Dana White would say during that whole situation. He would just, like, he always throws GSP under the bus, man. He always throws GSP under the bus. It's always like that, man. Yeah. You know, this wasn't the first match, you know, that we had in mind. Dana, you said that Max Holloway, you wanted time for him to recover before sparring. What made you want to put him on UFC 230? Actually, he wasn't supposed to be the main event. The doctors gave us the notes, and we decided to put Ortega versus Holloway here, yeah. But we had a different main event in mind. Dana, can you tell us what that main event is? Yeah, it's supposed to be Anderson GSP. We were gonna make that super fight in Madison Square Garden. It's what the Garden wanted. It was what the UFC wanted. It is what the fans wanted. Conor can't fight in New York right now, Isaac Barak. There's a reason why it's in Vegas. There's a reason why it's in Vegas and not New York. I can see what dreams are made of. But anyways, back to my Dana White scrum. Yeah. You know, GSP has his own personal issues. And then there's that one random girl. Dana, this is from Brazil. Dana, what do you think about Lyoto Machida and why he not on card? Can you say that again? UFC Brazil. Why is Dana? Why is Lyoto Machida not on the card? Oh yeah, we just felt there's a better place for Machida. Yeah, that's the reason why Conor and Khabib's not happy. Because my friend said the same thing. He's like, why is Conor and Khabib not in the Madison Square Garden card? And I say, well, Conor just kind of ruined Brooklyn, and he has a lawsuit in New York. So I'm pretty sure the New York State Athletic Commission is banning him. Oh yeah, I'm buying UFC 220. Yeah, 229's a buy. Like, that's a great card. Come fight me, Conor. You're so scared. Come fight me. All I want, send location. Come on, we'll settle difference. Yeah. I'm gonna for these last few questions. If you guys ask me questions, I'm gonna answer them like Dana White. I'm liking doing my Dana impression. Yeah. You know, he's a tough kid. You know, here's a guy that, you know, has bounced around a lot. You know, we had him when he was young. He never found his footing, and now the kid's a killer, man. He's a killer. He's going out there. He's beating guys like Shogun and Rashad Evans. I think it makes sense for him to fight Ozdemir. I think that's a great fight right there. I mean, the guy was willing and ready to go fight Gustafsson on like 2 days' notice, and if you don't like a guy like that, then you're stupid. If you guys are not watching the Tuesday Night Contenders, you are not a fight fan. No, but I do like that Anthony Smith has had a rebound in his career. Like, I remember when that dude was like, he would fight on all these undercards, man. And like, it's funny how everyone treats him like that he's like some new guy. Like, Anthony Smith was like fighting when he was like 22 years old. And he just sucked. Now he's like 29. He's more mature. He's more what's it called? He's more ready to like be at a top level for the UFC, you know? Who I think would win in a real fight? I don't know who Asuka is. I think Ronda would win in a real fight against Asuka. I've been great, Xander. Been trying to deal with some shit in real life, but I've been great. Nagano, the next Chick Congo. I don't know, man. Nagano's a little bit more talented than Chick Congo. But I can tell you one thing, man. That his ego got away from him. We gave him the world, and he just took advantage of it. And I don't know what's wrong with Francis Ngannou. He has his own issues to think about. That's for sure. Francis Ngannou has his own issues to worry about. Poor Gus. Isaac. Gustafson was crying for DC. Then this motherfucker has a stud like Anthony Smith come up, challenge him on 2 weeks' notice, and he backs out of a fight of an injury. Dana, oh, dude, if White versus Helwani, oh, that's even a real fight. Face the pain! Face the pain! Rap the bases! UFC 230 predictions. Poirier over Diaz. Weidman and Rockhold. Now, that's a hard fight. I'll go with Rockhold again. Because Weidman, I don't know, he's looking a little bit slower than usual, man. So I got Rockhold in that one. Jacare over Branch. Adesanya over Brunson. Who else is fighting? I think I've heard one. Ariel, well, Isaac Barak, I don't really have an Ariel Helwani. Like, I have to be interviewing someone to do an Ariel Helwani impression. But, like, it's more like he instigates all these fights, man. Lesnar's a better UFC fighter. Lashley has never fought in the UFC. Oh, yeah, dude. Dana versus Ariel Helwani should be a main event. That would be the greatest fight ever. Look, I chose the weight class. I told Ariel what the fight would be. Fuck him. I can't wait to fuck him in the cage. I never wanted to fight Dana. This is something that I didn't want to do. But ESPN said if I wanted to keep my job, I would have to fight Dana White. So I'm ready to fight Dana White. The grudge match. You spoiled UFC 200 for us. You're a freaking piece of shit. You went on all these radio shows crying about people, crying about everything. I just wanted to do my job. I was doing my job as a journalist. I wasn't trying to do anything. Fuck you, Ariel Helwani. You're a piece of shit. Fuck you. I'm going to kill you. The fight of the century. Face the pain. Face the pain. Rap it into pieces. Dana White. Ariel Helwani. UFC 230. Also, we have real fighters on the card, but that's not what you're really paying this money for. I haven't watched SmackDown lately, but I haven't heard much about Mandy Wrestling. What the hell happened to her? She does what every other good talent does. They go to SmackDown and they die. Who are your dark horses for each weight class in the UFC? Oh, God. I had to... First of all, don't even ask me about flyweight. Like, oh, my God. I don't even know. Like, Jesus. Who are some flyweight fighters, first of all? Who are some flyweight fighters? Don't even ask me about the UFC flyweight division. I'll just say, what's his face, man? Who's a flyweight, man? Wilson Reis. I'll go with Wilson Reis. I know he's like a top 10 guy, but I don't know any dark horses in the flyweight. I was surprised that there's more flyweights than Ray Borg, Joseph Benavidez, Giorgio Pettis, Demetrius, and what's his face? God, what's that fool's name? Cejudo, the champ. Oh, Nico Montano versus Valentina Shevchenko. No, not hyped for that fight whatsoever. I forgot there was a women's flyweight champion. I forgot there was a women's flyweight champion in the first place. Bantamweight division, I really do like Dotson's one of my favorites because I think that kid can knock out fools. But Alejandro Perez, that's another guy that I like a lot too. So Perez is probably my dark horse for the flyweight division. Featherweight division, man, my dark horse, he's been moving up, man. That Merced Bektik. He's been moving up a little bit for me, man. So I got Bektik. Lightweight division. Oh, God. Lightweight stacked, dude. Dark horse in the lightweight division. I want to say Dan Hooker for me. I like how Hooker fights. He just goes out there, dude. Welterweight division. I really don't know any other welterweights besides like the top 15 dudes. Is Leon Edwards doing good? Yeah, he's still doing good. I think he's doing killer. So yeah, Leon Edwards, I'll choose him. Middleweight division. Who's like a light? Who's like? There's like not really a dark horse, huh? Because Adesanya would be considered a dark horse nowadays. Man, dude. I don't know anyone for the middleweight division. A light heavyweight division. Let's go with... Anthony Smith is kind of like a dark horse, but he's been on the prowl as of late. Patrick Cummins is another guy, so those are some good dark horses. Heavyweight division, now there's a lot of guys like Tai Tuivasa, Shamil Abdurakhimov, Justin Willis. Like, there's some boys out in the heavyweight division. The strawweight division, I don't know, man. Give me what's her face, Felice Herrig. She's still a dark horse. I know she's like top 10, right? But who cares? Bantamweight division. We all know Amanda Nunes runs that shit. But at the same time, I really am liking what's her face, man? Not Sarah, man. Evil Eye, Jessica Evil Eye, whatever her name is. Yeah, her. She's like one of my favorites. And yeah, Cyborg runs the featherweight division. I don't even know there's featherweights in the UFC, man. Oh man, yeah, that flyweight division, dude, it's terrible. Would I sign any WWE wrestlers? Yeah. Absolutely. If they want to fucking fight, yeah. They can come on the Tuesday Night Contenders. And look, if you don't watch Tuesday Night Contenders, you're not a fucking fan. All right? But yeah, once Connor's out of his UFC contract, he can do whatever he wants. We have a good working relationship with WWE and Vince McMahon. What would you rather watch, an all-women's WWE pay-per-view for 5 hours or a flyweight UFC pay-per-view for 2 hours? Oh, God. Flyweight UFC pay-per-view. Not even close. I may not know these losers, but at least there would be at least one. Like, here's the thing. UFC fights, they can go any way. Like, how many times have we seen a fight where it's like, we don't know these people, and then they go out there and destroy themselves? Who are those? Like, Zabit versus that one fool on like 3 cards back, like not the Chicago card. I want to say it was the Brooklyn card. Like Zabit versus that one fool. Like, they were just, oh man. Well, Isaac Brock, you're not a fight fan then. If you're not, like, Dana White loves his Tuesday Night Contenders. He keeps saying like, oh, if you don't watch it, you're such a loser. No, but at least with the flyweights, like, at least I know there's got to be one fight where that's just like, it's just a killer fight. These two are killing each other and stuff like that. And then Mighty Mouse is still decent to watch. And, maybe like Cejudo's brains explode getting kicked in the head by Joseph Benavidez or something. I don't know, man. But, dude, no. All women's pay, no. I'd rather watch the flyweights. I'll take Nico Montana, too. I'd rather watch that, man. What would you rather be? A jobber in WWE or a starter on the Browns? Oh, starter on the Browns. That's so much better. I get paid millions of dollars to be a starter in the NFL. Who knows if I'm good or not? It doesn't matter. I'm still starting. Got tape out there. Got that recognition. Being a jobber in WWE, I get paid jack shit all. To just lose all the time? Screw that. Yeah, no, I'll take being a starter of the Browns any day of the week. SmackDown's... What A show? There's no A show in WWE. Every show is a D show, a C show. Kyle Bochniak is the guy. That fought Zabit, that one pay-per-view. Is that the guy that he fought? Because that fight was killer, man. I remember that show. I was like, holy shit, man. These guys are just killing each other, man. It was like a good show. And I was like, damn, dude, these guys are freaking killing each other, man. I didn't even know who Kyle Bochniak was. Like Zabit, like I knew a little bit of him, but I didn't know who that was. WWE's worst year yet. I think we talked about this. I honestly think 2015 is such a deflating year for WWE. It's just like, it's so bad. Can you really compare mid-90s to today for WWE? No, you can't, man. You can't. What takeover is your favorite? Takeover, the one with the ladder match between the Authors of Pain and was it Takeover Chicago? Yeah, the first Takeover Chicago, the ladder match with Authors of Pain and whatever it's called. No, Dana White does not know who Zabit is. He likes Zabit, but not in the Golden Children list, man. Thoughts on Marciano versus Swanson? Nah, Marciano kid is legit, man. He's legit. Like, the featherweight division, man, that division's always so lucky, man. Whenever it's like, you're like, oh, certain divisions just have a way of dying where it's just like, oh, they don't have any interesting challengers. And, like, the featherweight division has been blessed. And, like, how many times can you think to yourself that the featherweight title has had so many rematches or, like, multiple championship fights, like, between the same guys? Like, just Aldo versus Mendez and Aldo versus Holloway, you know? But Aldo versus Mendez, that was like Mendez lost in the first round, and then Mendez worked his way back up to getting that title fight again. And then Holloway versus Aldo, you know, that fight was like literally just booked because out of convenience. Like, that was just something that wasn't supposed to happen, you know? But the featherweight division, every time when you think like, man, dude, this division, man, they don't have talent, man, now. Guys like Ortega, Mociano, Yair Rodriguez, when he was hot, you know, like, you get dudes just coming up all the time. And it's just like, man, dude. You get all these dudes coming up all the time, man. Then they just look like legit threats to the featherweight title, man. But that's what makes the featherweight division so interesting sometimes for the UFC, dude. Yeah, didn't Ortega fight him and then caught him, like, with the rear naked choke? Like, not guillotine. Like, I want to say it was a guillotine, right? I think I remember. It was, like, on the... Like, I remember I was like, damn, dude, Ortega's jiu-jitsu is nasty, man. Like, I want to say Ortega... what's it called? I want to say Ortega choked him, right? And then, like, he tried not to tap out, but he ended up tapping out anyways. Like, I couldn't even remember if that was Mociano. Like, it was like a solid fight. Like, I remember it was like in the freaking, like, prelims of, like, the Cormier card with Jones, the Cormier Jones 2, the fifth time. Like, I remember Ortega, like, he goes for a takedown, and Ortega caught him with a guillotine, like, midair. Like, I remember that fight. That was a good fight, too. Oh, Triple H's Golden Show had success. What besides Connor, what the fuck has, like, Paige Van Zandt and Sage Northcutt have done, man? Oh, I like Attitude Era way better. Attitude Era was fun to watch, man. Yeah, I like Max Holloway. I make fun of him a lot on the channel. It is what it is. But, Maggle Cole, baby. But yeah, man, Max Holloway is a great fighter, dude, and I hope to see him back soon. Do you see fans doing the buzzards in the Woodley until fight become a stinker? Oh, yeah. They'll be doing the buzzards. They'll having fun with their lights. I don't know. Houston's kind of a respectable crowd. Houston always has good cards. Like, I can't think of a bad time Houston has had a terrible UFC card. Oh, I like Ken Shamrock better than Frank. Frank was a way better fighter than Ken, in my personal opinion. I've always defended Frank Shamrock on that behalf. But I've always liked Ken Shamrock more. Ken Shamrock was always, like, reckless and banging with his jiu-jitsu. Frank Shamrock was like the first fighter. Like, here's the thing. A lot of people don't give Frank Shamrock this type of credit, but Frank Shamrock was, like, actually one of the first fighters that actually was just, like, put strategy and game plan into the fights and actually knew what his opponents would do. Like he knew that, like, certain fighters would gas out at certain times and stuff like that. Like, he was just so good at game planning and stuff like that. Like, he was the first fighter to actually do game plans and stuff. Like, if Frank Shamrock never left the UFC when he did, and, like, when he first retired, because, like, he had to retire just so that way he could get out of the UFC contract that he signed and stuff like that, Frank Shamrock would go down as the greatest light heavyweight of all time, and John Jones would have so much to catch up to. Like there's no way, like, Liddell would have beaten Frank Shamrock in his prime. Tito struggled with Shamrock in his prime and everything like that. Like, you know, Jones would still be considered one of the greatest of all time, but we would be speaking of Frank Shamrock in that same breath. We would be like, man, who's going to beat Frank Shamrock? And, like, the only thing that would stop Frank Shamrock is Mother Time. But then Frank Shamrock decided to do a bunch of stupid shit, and then, yeah, it was his fault. Like, he really is one of the reasons why he's not one of the great, like, I think he's one of the great MMA pioneers, but, like, Frank Shamrock should be considered one of the greatest of all time, really, to be honest, man. Would you rather a Stephanie or Shane take over? Shane, because he's a little bit more business savvy than Stephanie. Kevin Owens is a former Universal Champion, right? Finn Balor has been doing some Universal Championship shenanigans. He's beaten AJ. Rollins. I mean, I'm just saying, man, Golden Children are amazing. Charlotte. We cannot forget about Charlotte and her success. Beat the streak. Would you rather be a jobber in WWE or fight on the UFC Facebook prelims? Oh, fight on the UFC Facebook prelims. Because here's the thing. I would go out there with reckless abandon. I would just say, screw it. I'm here to fight. I'm not like I'm on Facebook. I'm insulted. So I'm going to go out there and put on the best show. My coach will be like, hey, here's a strategy, Chase. I'm going to be like, coach, I'm just going to Justin Gaethje this. Screw this, man. I'm just going to Clay Guida. I'm going to Diego Sanchez this. I'm just going to fight because I want people to watch this. And it's on the Facebook prelims and you can watch that for free. Oh, that's trending on Facebook. Being a jobber in WWE, once again, getting my ass kicked for nothing. At least then, I get hyped. I get an ESPN interview. They'll be like, oh, Chase, man, that was such a crazy fight, blah, blah, blah. How would Dana White hype up Tuesday Night Fight Contenders on ESPN Plus for the next year? Well, straight shooter, if you're not a fucking fight fan, you got to watch it. It's real fights. It's all killers. They just want to fight. Fuck you. Fight. Yeah, no, Damples, that's what I would say. I'm on Facebook. I'm insulted. Like, who wouldn't say that, man? Like, what the? Like, could you imagine, man? You're going to fight in the UFC. You think, man, I'm on the undercard. People are going to see me on FS1. And then they go, hey, Chase, you're actually fighting on Facebook in front of like 10 people in the crowd. You know what, man? For all the people that want to come to my fight early, you're going to miss the fight of the night. You're going to miss the fight of the year. Because I'm going in with reckless abandon, dude. And if I know that and the thing is, too, I don't care if my guy's a jiu-jitsu guy or something. I'm going in punching. Like, I don't even care if I look bad. People are going to be like, damn, did you see that crazy dude? He was just trying to go and fighting and stuff like that. That's the thing. That will help out your stock. And then especially, like I said, free on Facebook. People are going to spread that shit like wildfire. They're going to be like, oh my God, did you see that fight in the UFC Facebook? These lower end card guys were killing each other in the octagon. There was a fight, I want to say like a year ago, where it was like kind of the same situation. These guys were on like the Facebook prelims and the Fight Pass prelims, even more insulting. You're on Fight Pass. They're on the Fight Pass prelims, and they put like a fight of the year contender, but then obviously you get enough steam because it's on Fight Pass. But at least with Facebook, that's free. You can share that video. You can share it, and the UFC will like you because it's like, did you see that kid? He just shared that whole video for everyone, man. Yeah, man. Like, why would I want to be a jobber in the WWE? I have to pay money. I lose. That's not fun. That's not fun, man. You should, Blue Knight. You should join the MMA gym. Do it, man. Even if you don't want to be, like, you never know, man. What if you get, like, in a, what if you get excited and you do good in it, man? Do you think Romero and Costa are on roids, as those super casual MMA fans will say? They're doing something. I don't think they're on roids, but there's many alternatives to steroids. Who do you got for Gaethje versus Tree Chunk Vic? Oh, I think Vic's gonna be. Gaethje's good. But I think Vic is going to win this fight. I would like Gaethje to win just because Gaethje's a fun fighter to watch, man. Like, it's fun watching Justin Gaethje just go, like, just not give a fuck. But I think Vic is a smarter fighter. Yeah, man. But, yeah, dude. Facebook Chase, dude. Oh, I swear, man. Like, that's what I'm saying, man. You can share those fights. That's smart, dude. Like, dude, that's why these fighters are stupid, man. What about being a glorified jobber for the main event wrestlers? Now, that's different, man. If I'm like an upper mid-carder like Jinder Mahal, and I get to lose like that and get paid millions, sure, like not millions, but a good portion, yeah, I'll take that, man. Like in like the upper echelon, like yeah, I'll take that. That's better, man. Not like freaking like Kurt Hawkins. No, Gustafsson will never be a champ. That dude's cursed. He's one of those guys that's just cursed in MMA, man. Kissing ass to WWE or kissing ass to Dana White. All I have to do is impress Dana White to get a big fight. Kissing ass to WWE, I have to kiss ass to everyone. And that's not just like producers or or like Vince. You have to kiss ass to all the wrestlers, shake their hands, kiss their... Nah, it'd be disgusting. NJ, I'm more of a New Japan guy. And my favorite version of Randy Orton is the IED Orton. My favorite version of Triple H, Reign of Terror, HHH. What do you think of Ariel and Chael's show? It's good. They work well with each other. They know each other. They're good friends. I think it's pretty good. You know, Chael always has a good mindset when it comes to certain things in MMA. You know, he always has like the outside of the box mindset. And Ariel is very like, you know, when he wants to get an opinion across there, he's very strong about it. So it's good. You know, not like a big fan of both guys, but I do think the show's good, especially for the casual MMA goer out there. Yeah, exactly. Like, if I'm like a Ziggler or a Jinder, sure, I'll take that. But no way I'm not taking like a Kurt Hawkins role. Anyways, guys, that's it for the Q&A. Thank you guys very much for watching this live stream. Hope you guys enjoyed the video and everything like that. If you guys liked what you saw, hit the subscribe button if you guys are on the archive or anything like that. Remember, guys, just like the #1 contender to the UFC heavyweight champion, Brock Lesnar, sometimes you don't have to give a shit in life, and we were never friends. And yo.